Alright y'all, what's good? To be honest with you, I couldn't find anything for us to watch, so today we just get to listen to me rant about twitter.com, twitter.net, twitter.gov, whatever you wish to call it. It's a website, it's one of the websites, and it is very usable for now. Well, it was at least until today. I've never seen Twitter break harder than I have, like, in the past 10 or so hours. I can't even, like, use group chats right anymore. But anyways, that is not really the topic of today's video. As some of you who follow me on Twitter already saw that I tweeted this out, Elon is just silencing opinions he doesn't agree with, and it's very direct. It is not even like, silencing them by shadow banning them in the algorithm like they used to do, where you would just get shadow banned and your engagement would die for a little bit. It's not even that anymore. They're just kind of like straight up deleting your posts if they don't agree with you. I saw a tweet by certified commentary bro Jay Aubrey about the extermination of trans kids. I shit you not. He didn't agree with it. I feel like I should state that. But I saw a tweet from Jay Aubrey about the extermination of trans kids. And it was basically pointing out how many of these blue check fucks, these blue check fraud losers with their fraud check, their Mickey Mouse check, it's really about how many of them support the direct genocide, the direct, loud, may I add, genocide of trans people for no other reason than they are evil. And that's really the point that I'm at now with the Republican Party, is they are evil for the sake of evil. I used to not believe that. In fact, I used to be kind of right-leaning, maybe like towards the center right. I used to be like one of those small government bros, like a lowercase L libertarian, not like a pedophile libertarian, like a real actual, small government libertarian kind of guy. But then I realized that is retarded, and I grew up and I have the opinions that I do now. But while I was a lowercase L libertarian, while I was a small government guy, I remember being drawn to the right because of all the free speech stuff, all of the, we should be allowed to say what we want to say, the iDubbbz kind of leafy school of thought, to where it was, we should be allowed to say what we want to say, and there shouldn't really be consequences in it. Now I recognize how stupid that ideology is, and I'm sure iDubbbz has realized how stupid that ideology is as well. And a lot of people have come to, a similar conclusion, but with opposite effects, to where, hold up, this ideology is kind of stupid. We should just be able to say what we want to say, and then nobody else gets to say what they get to say. It's like a kid who has a toy truck, and he's at daycare, and that is the daycare's toy truck. And like the dude is like, hey, you should share, and he's like, what if I didn't share and I just had the truck, and also I shoved the truck in everybody's face because I have the truck and they don't? It's similar to that in my mind, just as a little simile, metaphor even. One of the people who belong to the school of thought is ironically Mr. Free Speech himself, Elon Musk of Twitter.com and Tesla and SpaceX. He is a big free speech guy until you disagree with him and have basic decent opinions. He is full free speech absolutist until it comes time to disagree with him. And I know that it's not going to do anything to point out the hypocrisy, but it is there, and I think it is worth pointing out, despite it, not really having any sort of effect on anything. It is definitely worth pointing out the hypocrisy of the situation. to where Mr. Elon Musk, a tech billionaire, is allowed to dispose his far right, super fucking terrible beliefs on everybody, and you're not even allowed to say anything back? Like, imagine you have a 13, 14-year-old person on Twitter. I believe that's the minimum age for Twitter, is 13. So let's imagine you have a 13-year-old on Twitter, and their parents were like, hey, you know, you're 13, you're allowed to have social medias now, or something along those lines. And the first thing they see is Elon Musk being super hateful, being just a terrible person, you know. Of course, they're gonna look at this perceived powerful person and think, wow, that's freaking epic, Lois. That's freaking sweet. Of course they're gonna do that, because they're stupid and they're 13. Now, I'm not saying, oh, protect the children are dumb, but one, the children are dumb, and two, you know, if one side gets to say protect the children and then try to genocide trans kids, I get to say protect the children and, you know, have their fragile small child brains saved for another day to fight for the good fight, instead of being corrupted by these objectively just really terrible thoughts, these kind of evil, not even kind of, just straight up evil thoughts of, you know, genocide and hatred. It's almost like another guy in the 1940s who shall be unnamed, but he rose to prominence, and he had this, you know, little summer camp for these kids, you know. It's kind of like the YMCA, but in Germany, where he would teach these kids his values in hopes that the kids would agree with him, because they don't know any better. It's kind of like that. I'm not gonna name any names, but, you know, the similarity is it's there, to be sure. And back to my random unnamed guy from the 1940s comparison, I just want y'all to do a thought experiment. I'm leaving you with a little bit of homework, because I've done this myself, and it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad if you really think on it. I want you to look at any anti-transgender bill, any of them, and replace the word trans with the word Jew, and replace the word transgenderism, which is a fake term made up by bigots to make your gender sound like an ideology. I want you to replace that term with the word Judaism, and I want you to see how that reads. Now, I know it's not a direct comparison. I mean, the only way it would get more direct is if we were trying to exterminate Jews, which, you know, they're smart enough to not directly say it, at least yet. They have to wait a little bit before they can say, let's exterminate the Jews, because, you know, they are Nazis, and that is one of their many terrible end goals. But they do have to wait a little bit before they can say it, and in the interim of them waiting a little bit, maybe instead of letting them progress with their terrible agenda, we can cut the source of it and, you know, maybe get rid of the fascist party in America. Hey, maybe we should do that. There was a metaphor that I really liked. I forgot who exactly said it, but I really like this metaphor. Let's say you have a beautiful wall, the best wall ever, and the best wall, the tallest wall, it goes underground too, and it's an electric wall, and let's say it self-heals. It's a self-healing wall that is electric, underground, and super duper tall. Let's say it reaches above the Earth's atmosphere. If you don't have people that are guarding the wall, what's gonna happen to it? You know, it may take 2,000 years, it may take millennia, it may take literal eons, but that wall will fall unless somebody is guarding it, and somebody is maintaining it. And preferably, they'd be doing both. Preferably, they would guard, maintain, and upgrade said wall all at the same time. And while I get this might be real unrealistic and maybe a little idealist, you know, if you don't have anybody guarding the wall, and you have a group of people, let's say a group of 100 million people, let's say a group of 20 million people, no, let's say a group of 5 million people, and they all attack the wall continuously, and they do it forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever until the wall breaks. Eventually, you know what's gonna happen? They're gonna get around that fucking wall, dude. They're gonna destroy the wall, or they're gonna go under it, or they're gonna go over it. They're gonna go above the Earth's atmosphere. Okay? They're gonna get through that wall unless you have, you know, some turret guns, some machine rifle, whatever, some snipers, some engineers, some scientists to help with the self-healing tech of the wall or whatever in this hypothetical that I made up just now. Unless you have all those things, that wall will fall, no matter what you do, no matter how strong the wall is. And we already saw the wall start to crumble on January 6th. The question is, how far will we let the wall crumble? How far will we let these far-right, fascist, borderline Nazis, these modern interpretation of Nazis, I'll go ahead and say that, this is a modern interpretation of Nazism. How far do we let that modern interpretation of Nazism go? Because we saw what happened last time we let it run rampant. It was called World War II. That was what it was called. It was a war that was so great and so large scale, and when I say great, I don't mean positive, I mean like massive. It was a war that was so great, it obliterated the war previous to it, known as the War to End All Wars, or the Great War. It was greater than the Great War. It was more warrior than the War to End All Wars. That's what happened last time. And now we have nukes. We had nukes at the end of World War II. We used 2 of them. That was our complete arsenal. You know how many we have now? It's a lot. I couldn't tell you the exact number, but it's a lot more than 2. And it's a lot more than we need to wipe out the entire world. Now, not to doomer pill, but, you know, if we let these Nazi fascists run rampant through our society yet again, another time, because we didn't learn our lesson 70 years ago, we're gonna learn our lesson, and it's gonna be called the extinction of humanity. Because you're gonna have these liberals who are too scared to press the nuke button. They're gonna say, what about the optics of pressing the nuke button? The nuke button is scary. And then you're gonna have the fascists being, ooh, funny red button, let's press it a lot, and let's press it until it doesn't press anymore. That's gonna be exactly what happens come, let's say, 25, 30, 50 tops years. I'm calling it right now, 50 tops years, you will have the Nazis and the liberals once again, with the complacent liberals, with the just walk all over my back mentality that they've always had, and you will have these extreme modern Nazis that will topple our society once over again. And this time, who knows if we'll be able to defeat them? Who knows? Because you know where they're gonna be? They're gonna be in America, the center of the world. Even though we are kind of falling off, we are still the center of the world. We are the center of power. We are the center of commerce. We are the center of culture. And the second that a Nazi takes control of those centers, it's over. It's done. It's Jover, man. And, you know, I think it'd be very irresponsible of us to let that happen. But anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed my rant. You know, very minimal editing. I want this to be sort of more emotional, you know? Hey, maybe give some more ethos appeal, you know? But anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed this video today, and I hope it wasn't too doomer pill. I hope it, you know, didn't get you sad for the future, because I do believe that, you know, the future is still worthy of fighting for and shouldn't be thrown away quite yet, you know. I don't believe that it is Jover quite yet, but it can be Jover pretty quickly. And I hope that I got that point across effectively in some sort, whether it be the angry, impassioned rant or, you know, the more logical and methodical first part of the video. But anyways, that has been about it for me today. I have talked for 40 minutes and I'm gonna cut in the good parts. But anyways, I hope y'all are enjoying yourselves, and I hope y'all are enjoying the content, and thank you. It means so much for all the support. I wasn't expecting to get any type of views like this, and it's really cool to see. But anyways, yeah, hopefully we can reach, you know, 100 subscribers sometime soon. That'd be dope. I could do it for a second time. I could be, you know, a top 1%er, you know? That'd be pretty cool, I think. But yeah, that's been about it for today. Alright, bye.